Hello and welcome to London Luton Airport. Yesterday, in a fit of madness, as a relatively recent vlogger, I thought it would be a great idea to buy Wizzair's annual all-you-can-fly pass. It promises to let me travel seamlessly around Europe and indeed further as far as Uzbekistan or Saudi Arabia. But there are some conditions. It costs around about £500, so let's go inside the airport and find out if I bought a real bargain or whether there are some catches. Let's go and see.
What on earth possessed me yesterday to buy this all-I-can-fly for 1 year subscription service with Wizzair? Just to remind you of the cost, it's €599 for a year. It then renews automatically, so if you only want it for a year, remember to cancel it. And then every single sector that you fly with the airline for a whole year costs just €10. Now this is converted at the time of transaction into your local currency, so effectively I spent £500. Some people have told me it's a great idea, others have told me, oh, there must be some significant catches behind this. But as a vlogger, I thought it would be great. It gives me flexibility. Now the biggest catch of all, although it's quite clearly explained in the terms and conditions, is that you can only book flights 3 days, or rather between 3 days and 4 hours before departure. It obviously means you have to be willing to have last minute plans. If you're travelling for more than 3 days, you also don't know if you're going to be able to get back on the same routing. And my first flight is from London Luton Airport to beautiful Larnaca in Cyprus. And having had a look at the availability on the website, I was certain that this would be easy, as there were apparently plenty of seats available on every flight from London to Larnaca for the next 3 days. But when I looked on the special booking portal for this offer, lo and behold, I found that for the first 2 days there were no seats available whatsoever from London Gatwick to Larnaca. And if I wanted a seat, I would have to travel on the second day, in other words today, from London Luton. So that's what I'm doing. And I think it's the first little warning sign, and to be fair, it's written quite clearly in the terms and conditions, so this isn't a criticism, that I won't necessarily have unlimited availability, and some of my best laid plans will be subject to change.
Another really cool feature of this pass that I'm looking forward to is just how far it can take you. I want to give you 2 examples. Theoretically, it should be possible to travel all the way from London, or anywhere in the UK that is served by Wizzair, all the way to the Maldives for €30. Yes, €30. Now how do you do that? You would fly, for example, from London to Larnaca, or some other destination in Europe where Wizzair flies to their Middle East base in Abu Dhabi. Then you fly on to Abu Dhabi, so that's the second flight. And then finally, from Abu Dhabi to the Maldives. That's 3 sectors, 3 times 10, €30. But I wonder with all this availability, whether it works out. It's something I'm going to have to do, and we'll go along together and find out. I am a big fan of Luton Airport. Why? There's plenty of space landside with loads of cafes, all the ones that you would expect, and loads of space. And also the check-in is a large area, and it's normally very well run, and best of all, I find that the security generally runs like clockwork, whether the airport is busy or not. And I seem to be lucky. I always turn up here when it's not too busy. Today it seems very quiet. Obviously there are times when there are many more passengers here, and seemingly it's not me alone who's having these good experiences, because the Airport Council International ACI Europe awarded Luton in 2024 best airport in Europe for the category handling between 10 and 25 million passengers annually. Congratulations to Luton. Somebody's doing something right, and I think it's well deserved. And of course it's another reason to fly with an airline from Luton, in this case Wizzair. Quick reminder that on Wizzair flights, check-in closes 60 minutes before departure, although it's really not a good idea to check in at the airport, as there'll be loads of extra charges. You do much better to make sure you complete all the check-in formalities more than 3 hours in advance on the app. Otherwise you're going to pay a hefty extra fee. The famous and dreaded baggage gauges. In order to get value from any of Wizz Air's passes, you want to be travelling with a minimal baggage so you don't pay extra charges. And this is what I travel with. One bag, it's a rucksack as you can see, and it fits very nicely into the measure your carry-on bag here compartment. Here's a really nice facility at the airport where you can actually buy fast-track security through this machine. It says from just £8, open from 4:15 in the morning until late in the evening, and yep, the standard is £8. So if there is a long wait, you can make that decision on the spot. Clearly you can book online as well, and EasyJet FlexiFare or Plus ticket holders are lucky enough to get automatic fast track. Reaffirming my liking for Luton Airport, this price for bottled water is much cheaper than in most airports. £13.99 for a litre of Smirnoff, and a lot less expensive than the duty-free on the Viking line between Estonia and Helsinki. That is our vodka check completed. Yeah. And here we are walking into the main departures lounge of the airport. I was just told that you can't film in the duty-free shop. First airport I've ever been told that in. He said everywhere else is okay, but not the duty-free shop. You were still able to complete the vodka price check. Now, of course, one other thing that seeing WH just ahead of me in the possibility of buying food and drinks, which I'm suddenly reminded of relating to Wizzair, is obviously when I buy this pass with Wizzair, they're also expecting me to, flight by flight, purchase extras, whether that's food and drink on board the aircraft, or whether it's an extra bag, or flexibility, or seat assignment. So although this is a fantastic offer, as far as I can see, at £500 a year, plus the €10 per flight, obviously there are plenty of touch points where Wizz Air can earn more money, and they'll certainly be targeting me with that objective in mind. It's 10:23, my flight leaves at 10:55, apparently it's already boarding at gate 26, better get a move on because we know that Wizz Air don't hang around closing their boarding. Wizz Air's always very proud of the fact that it has an extremely young and environmentally friendly fleet. A few going to the back of the aircraft. Always amazes me how few do go to the back of the aircraft for boarding with low-cost carriers, although it does make the whole process much smoother and faster, easier for everyone, particularly those of us with seats at the back of the aircraft. You see the queue at the front and no queue at the back. Oh, I have my seat now, 3060, happy with that. But I won't be by the window, so no takeoff film. Well, I always get that wrong. I don't seem to be able to hold the camera straight. And now's one of those customer touch points where Wizz Air would like to make some money from me. And I have to say, I think that their onboard snack selection is great. One thing I like is how they have a particular national snack corner from some of the countries where they have bases, like Poland, Romania, Hungary and Italy, although notably not a British corner as yet. And then I'm flying in February. They have special offers for Valentine's, including buy 2 Prosecco bottles, obviously small ones, and a Belgian chocolate hearts together for €18, which is great fun if you're travelling as a couple. There's a big choice of hot meals, I mean they go quite quickly, and sandwiches, which recently they've enabled you to buy on their own at quite reasonable prices. For example, a small cheese baguette at €5, but you can also trade up to have a menu with a drink and a snack. And as this is my first flight, I'm in a good mood. I'm going to definitely enjoy it. I'll have your wine deal with the Cabanos, red wine. Is that possible?
Red wine, of course, sir.
And you have the Cabanos?
But we don't have these ones.
Oh.
We have only this.
Oh, okay, doesn't matter. That's Hungarian, right? So that's good.
Yes.
It's even better. They're the best, aren't they?
So you want
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, and all right. Do you have the? Hang on. Do you have the couscous?
Yes, we have it.
All right. I'm going to trade up, spend more, and I'll have a couscous. How much is all of that?
The whole thing is €40.
40.
14. Sorry about my
I think no, it's okay. It's me. I'm deaf. I'm old. I think 14 is fair enough for that. That's great. Excellent. Okay, very good. And I can pay by card, obviously. Hang on. It's time to test what I've bought on the aircraft. First of all, couscous, which I never really expected to have on a plane. I've let it soak in the water a bit. You have to, don't you, with couscous? Tastes surprisingly good. Okay, it's definitely not like going to Morocco or France. Having a great couscous there, but tasty enough and filling. It'll do. And then I'm going to try my red wine a bit later, which looks like it's Greek. And in the end, I didn't have the Polish sausages, but I got Hungarian sausages. Arguably better, some of my friends would say, not all of them. The sausage is great, as you would expect from Hungary. And the red wine, very quaffable. Right, as I always say in my videos, I'm going to carry on eating, and I'll see you a bit later. The service has been exemplary, and for me, Wizz Air is by far my favourite European low-cost airline. And one of the reasons for that is because the crews are great. Now, it's company policy not to appear on camera, so we're going to respect that. But I want the whole Wizz Air management team to know how good this crew is. And I'm going to introduce you to a gentleman and just ask a couple of questions about life with Wizz Air and on board the aircraft. So we won't put the camera on the gentleman, we'll just ask a couple of questions. Hope that's okay with the CEO, Joseph. Right, here we go. Sorry, first of all, your name?
Hello, my name is Elias Griot.
And you're from?
I'm from France, but I grew up in Spain actually, and I'm working in Cyprus base in Larnaca with Wizz Air.
You clearly love your job because the service you give is passionate, you help the ground staff, you help the customers, you have a natural authority, if I may say so. What do you like about working, first of all, for Wizz Air, and what do you like about working 36,000 feet above ground level on a plane?
So what I really like about is actually meeting people. The first thing is important. The customer is obviously wants to travel from one point to another as safely as possible, but I want to be sure that this customer will have will just go on the ground and be like, I'm safe, sound, I ate well, thank you, Wizz Air. Even if they like it or not, just to remember the smile. I want to, for me, my joy is to see the smile of every single customer.
Fantastic. So all in all, the first flight on this all-you-can-fly pass on Wizz Air was excellent. We've arrived on time, the service was impeccable, and it's wonderful for me to be back in Larnaca. I haven't been here for a little while. The schedule was to land local time 17:40. We actually landed at 17:25, and I'm out of the terminal at exactly 17:40 here in Larnaca. As you can see, it's an absolutely beautiful sunset. Very happy with the service I've received, and it's a good start with the pass. We'll see how it continues. I will take you every step of the way. Well, if you enjoyed this film, you might perhaps enjoy my film about Kutaisi in Georgia, the first one of 3, which is up here on this side of the screen. And also, if you like food, over here you'll see my discovery of the Bucharest winter cuisine scene, and particularly their wonderful cabbage rolls. Thank you so much for watching this film, and we'll see you again very soon on Travel in the Know.